إن الله ربي وربكم فاعبدوه هذا صراط مستقيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi, dear viewers. Tonight your host Kasim Chirgwajo, and in the studio I'm with two guests, Brother Hakim Rajab and Sheikh Abdurrahman Hasaba, both from Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, Uganda. Tonight's topic is the Christian concept of hell, paradise, and the life after death. We're going to dwell on this topic, but I would love to draw some questions to our brother Hakim.
Yes.
What is hell? In line with the topic, the Christian concept of hell. According to what would you tell our viewers what hell is?
The concept of hell is understood differently in different religions. Most of them present it in a material image rather than the spiritual image. But as your question says, that what is hell? Hell, according to a Christian point of view, is simply the result of a person who simply separates himself from God. Once you separate yourself from God, it means that your only abode will be nothing but hell. The Holy Bible emphasizes this in John chapter 3, verse 16. What does it say? It says that for God loved this world, so he decided to give in his only son. The only son, I mean Christ. Thus, after loving this world and decided to give in his only son, this meant that there was no any other alternative, but the son had to be punished. Now, that verse of the Holy Bible that says that for God loved this world and he decided to give in his one and only son, who is Christ, is very, very important. The verse continues by saying that whoever believes in Jesus, he will not perish. At the same time, he will have eternal life. That is according to that verse. So this is a clear implication that we as the Muslims, since we believe in Jesus, it means that according to that verse of John chapter 3 verse 16, we are rest assured of paradise, because our only responsibility is just to believe. Once you believe in Jesus, it means the kingdom of heaven is a sure deal.
You talked about living God. What
Yes.
do you mean by living God?
Living God,
Yeah.
it means just abandoning good conducts,
Like?
going to church, doing what, all that, so long as it is part of Christianity. Yes.
In the same line,
Mm.
we're talking of hell,
Mm.
where we see man abandoning God.
Mm.
Again, you're bringing in accepting Jesus.
Mm.
Does it mean to say failure to accept Jesus, still you go to God? I mean, you go to hell?
Failure to accept Jesus,
Mm.
you go to hell according to the teaching of that verse, because it said that once you believe in him, it means you are not going to perish. At the same time, you will have to attain eternity. So once you don't believe in Jesus, for us the Muslims, we believe in him, meaning that heaven is a sure deal. Now,
Our dear viewers, we are still on the topic, the Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death.
Yes.
For any remarks or comments, visit us on www.mta.tv or email us on africa@mta.tv. Sheikh Abdurrahman,
Yes,
what do you have to say about the same concept?
just as my brother has mentioned, these things have been understood in quite a different ways. The majority of the people, when they hear these things like hell, paradise, and they are taken, most of them take them to be physical, and some have even gone ahead to to imagine or to conclude that maybe there will not be anything like that. Hell, when once man dies, that is all, and everything is locked up. However, the issue of hell from the Islamic point of view is that man is given the choice whether to determine that he should go to hell or to enjoy the paradise.
What do you mean? Man
And
is given choice.
this starts from this very world, that if man wants to achieve pleasure on this world or in this world,
God is pleasure.
God is pleasure,
Okay.
and also any other enjoyment which is God has prepared for him to enjoy. It is him to decide which way, because hell particularly depends on, it's a situation when man tries to avoid or he neglects the duty of God that he has to God. And then when he cuts himself from he cuts that relationship between him and God, then it means he has become a worshipper of the world, and this gives him a lot of requirements and needs in the heart.
Thanks so
which
much.
will
That
keep him
shows
busy.
us, according to your explanation and what Brother Kim has given us, that whoever goes off track from what God desires them to do are bound to enter hell. I will not go much into that, but I have another question for you. As the topic goes, the Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death.
Yes.
Sheikh Abdurrahman,
Yeah.
can you give us what you understand by paradise? What is paradise? In the same concept.
According to the Christians, they know very well that paradise, if you have to enjoy both in this world and in the hereafter, you only have to do one thing, that you believe in Jesus being the Savior, and that is automatically you will go to paradise. On the side of Islam, paradise, as I said, it starts from here on earth, and from the words of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah, that in this world it is a sowing field for the next life, which means that in the field, in today, what you are going to sow, it is exactly what you will also be able to reap in the hereafter. So the whole process starts here, and when you establish a good working relationship with your God, this is the kind of paradise that you begin to enjoy here.
Thanks so much. Our dear viewers, still to remind you, our topic of discussion is Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death. Sheikh Abdurrahman has been explaining the concept of paradise.
Yes.
He has showed us the physical, where I'm not getting properly, the physical being of these individuals from earth, then they stay with Jesus physically. He has given us some light, how physical. But can you give us more information about this? Information about that concept of paradise?
There's something very pertinent we would wish our esteemed viewers to understand.
Very good.
Today in Europe, there is a theory which is very much common. It is called the Dante's Inferno, as a theory of divine comedy. In that theory of divine comedy, in that theory, that gentleman claims that he had traveled into heaven and hell physically. So he had the opportunity to witness what is really happening into heaven and hell. Now today there are so many people who are following this type of concept, or who are following this theory, that today they are taking it as something authentic. Now, from the Islamic point of view, there's something very important here. we have to know, as Shaykh Abdul Rahman has said, that we prepare for this. Man gets Jannah, two types of Jannah, here on earth and even in the hereafter.
Let me get you right.
Yes.
Islam teaches that there is
Yes.
Jannah on
Yes,
earth.
exactly.
Alhamdulillah.
That there is Jannah on earth, at the same time there is Jannah on paradise. This can be found in a verse of the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Rahman, chapter 55, verse 47, whereby it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَالْمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ, that we have two types of paradise. There is two types of paradise. The same issue is also repeated in the same chapter, in chapter 55, verse 55. That أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ, that is the one in 47. Then in 55, it is repeated that مُتَّكِئِينَ عَلَى فُرُشٍ بَطْوَائِنُهَا مِنْ إِسْتَبْرَقٍ وَجَنَى الْجَنَّتَيْنِ دَانٍ, meaning that man, in the religious concept of in the Islamic concept, we have two types of paradise here on earth, at the same time even in the hereafter. It's not like in the Christian point of view.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Our dear viewers, if you want any comments to put across, get us on africa@mta.tv. Basing still now on your side, basing on the two concepts given about hell and about paradise. Views explained lead us somewhere. As our topic goes, the Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death. Relating the two, what's life after death? Should we expect that life after death? What does the Christian concept say about life after death?
The Christian concept about life after death is found in a chapter, in a verse of the Bible. It is in Ezekiel chapter Ezekiel 18, verse number 4. It says that, behold, all souls are mine. The soul of the Father, as well as the soul of the Son, is mine. The soul that sins shall die. That's point number 1. Then in Matthew chapter 10, verse 28, the Holy Bible says, fear him who can destroy both the soul and the body in hell. Now, here, according to these two verses, in Ezekiel, at the same time in Matthew, they mean that the soul will have to die, especially for those ones, for the sinners. They will have to die. And after believing, after coming to realize the moment that Christ will be the one in charge of the judgment seat, that person who will be unfortunate, that is according to the Christian point of view, that person who will be unfortunate and is sent into hell, he will not have the opportunity to get out of there. But instead, he will be crushed there.
Second death.
Exactly. He will be crushed there, and even his soul will have to perish. At the same time, will have to be destroyed. Now, according to the Islamic concept, it does not believe like that. The Islamic concept does not believe that the soul will have to be destroyed, be it for the sinners, like not even for the good doers. It will not be destroyed, but rather it will be there forever. Now, this can be seen in a verse of the Holy Quran, that is in Surah Al-A'la, the 87th chapter. It says that once man will go into hell, he will not die from there. At the same time, will not have life there, will not live there. Meaning that the pangs of pain will be too much, will be in the middle, will not die there, at the same time will not live there. So it's very important to know the Islamic concept of death. That is it.
Thanks so much, Brother Hakim. Sheikh Abdul Rahman.
Yes, please.
Brother Hakim talks of life after death, and I'm seeing a factor of second death as per our topic, second death. Again, he's talking about the Islamic way, where if one does even that little good, will have a chance of leaving hell to heaven. Isn't it?
Yes.
Implying, trying to justify the life after death.
Yes.
What's your view about life after death?
According to Islam, these whole issues like life after death, actually this very topic of life after death, when we talk about it, what should be very much understood here first is that God, who is our creator, he is the one who determined actually the purpose of our creation. And he said, he told us in the Holy Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون, that the very sole purpose of man's creation is none other than the worship of his creator. And because of that factor, in this world we are tuned that we must know that here we are here temporarily, but the other life which must come, whereby here we have been put to a field where we have to sow the seeds that we shall have to reap in the hereafter.
On earth.
Yes.
Okay.
So this gives us a picture that actually man's life is there in two forms. This physical life, which is of this body, and after that, when the man passes on, this body remains here, and man is given a new body, which is given to the soul, because his soul continues to live, and it is offered a new kind of body, which suits that kind of environment in which he will have entered. And again, life continues. Because it is after that, if life is not there, then we cannot hope of being rewarded again and all this. It will mean everything have ended. As there is this concept already among the Christians that there is no point of hell and no point of
like Brother Kim told us of second death.
Yes, because if everything ends here, then why should man suffer, sacrificing this and that? So life after death is actually a reality. According to Islamic belief, we believe paradise is a reality. Hell is also a reality, which we have said that it begins, both paradise and hell starts from here. And the sole purpose of that is to prepare for the life after death. And then the life after death continues, whereby man is offered that body which become, or which possesses those finer faculties that enable him to move closer to his maker or God, and is able to perceive the true and new attributes of God, whereby he is more closer to God, and he perceives God almost in a form, one would say, like it is in a physical form.
Let me get you right.
Yes, please.
You're talking of that form where people look at second, following God's attributes. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Having that second chance of following more rewards. Do you have any picture of what does Christians talk about? How will paradise be? What should our viewers hear there? What picture should they have? What does Christianity teach of the real state of how will the paradise look? What should they expect in paradise?
There are a number of things that have been mentioned both in the...
Why I'm asking this,
Yeah.
We're looking at life after death. And looking at the discussion, we are relating life after death to that living in paradise. Yeah? So do we have anywhere Christianity talks of the nature of how people will be in the paradise?
Yes. What is still we must emphasize, I must emphasize here, is that in the scriptures you will find certain things being mentioned as physical. This that we see here, like enjoyment of such drinks like milk, honey,
the ladies,
beautiful women, and all that. But though these things are mentioned in the scriptures like that, but these actually they will not be manifested in this physical form, the fact being that we have already seen that this will not be a physical life.
No, I mean in the Christian way.
Mm.
What picture they show? How will man be in paradise?
Christianity.
Do you understand my question?
Yes, we understand.
Can we have that? What picture does Christianity show?
Of course,
what does
Christianity,
man expect?
of course, Christianity takes it as in a physical image.
Okay, okay.
In a material image.
Okay.
But if they talk about the trees in paradise,
Very good.
they are meaning the tree. If they talk about the milk in paradise, they are meaning this real milk we are having here on earth.
Association of
Exactly.
animals and man.
That's why I told you that most of them follow the other theory of Dento Sifano, whereby they believe that all that he saw, since he told them that I saw ABCD, now they believe that that is the reality, that's what is happening from there. Even when you read the Holy Bible, you'll find the same stories showing you that indeed it will be physical, it will not be spiritual. Yes.
Our discussion still continues. The Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death. We still continue with our discussion, but for any comments, remember to email us on africa@mta.tv. Sheikh Abdurrahman, I just wanted to get more light from Brother Kim. You
Yes,
can please continue. As we're looking at the real state of what should man expect in paradise, and you had showed us what Christianity teaches, and from there, can we proceed?
Yeah, thank you very much. We are looking at the life after death, which we have already mentioned, that it is just a continuation of this.
Yeah.
From this present life, man has been offered such an opportunity. We are on on the side of the Muslims. We have something very unique, unlike in Christianity, that for Islam, it gives us a picture that much as man has a lot of expectation of paradise, but again, these physical things like the fruits which are mentioned, these other streams flowing in the gardens, actually have been given just to give man that a clue of what exactly will happen, but it is not in that reality.
Meaning we should not expect that physical way
yes,
of the
that
steps.
physical way of observing things the way we look at them here.
Rather the spiritual way.
Rather the spiritual way of things. Because when you look at the teaching of Islam, it gives you hope that if you say that when we read the Bible, it tells us that whoever does not believe or fails to believe in Jesus as being the begotten Son of God, then that man is already condemned and he will suffer with torment throughout and forever. But in Islam, we are given hope that since we believe that the God of Islam is one who is that being, Allah is that supreme being that has got perfect attributes. And these perfect attributes means that these perfect attributes are permanent. They never change.
Brother Kim, I give you the concluding remark. In the same concept.
On the same concept,
of hell.
there is something very important we would wish our viewers to know.
Very good.
There is a hadith of the Holy Prophet that is so much interesting. The hadith says that immediately after our death, the doors of heaven open. What does this hadith mean? That the Holy Prophet goes further to say that if somebody is a good doer, the doors of heaven will have to open. If somebody is a bad doer, the doors of hell will have to open. But when you dig up our graves, you don't see the windows there, the windows that they are found there. The hadith talks about the windows that they will have to open. But in this hadith of the Holy Prophet, it can also be understood in the verse of the Holy Quran about that same concept. It says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألا أن نبدل أمثالكم وَنُنْشِئَكُمْ فِي مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. In that verse of the Holy Quran, it tells us that we have not yet developed the faculties of understanding what will really happen to the soul. We don't have those faculties. But the Holy Prophet is telling us that time will come, as Shaykh Abdul Rahman was trying to explain, that the Holy Prophet is talking about something that the soul have to be turned into a different way. Now, there is also something very important here, which we have to know, that the Holy Prophet, on the same incident about life after death, he told us something important about a certain dua, which is found in Jami Tirmidhi by Ibn Abbas. That dua says that on a daily basis, we should always pray that Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab al-qabr wa min adhab al-nar. That on a daily basis we should pray to God that, oh my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the punishment of hell and from the punishment of the grave, that we should pray on a daily basis. So it's very
Thanks so
very
much.
important.
On account of time, that has been our discussion. The topic that has been on the table has been the Christian concept of hell, paradise, and life after death. Remember to email us on africa@mta.com, and the topic will continue next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن الله ربي وربكم فاعبدوه هذا صراط مستقيم